Okay, so we got a matchup against the Macedonian Dynasty. I'm playing as Knights Templar as usual. It's Xbox controller only 1v1 ranked. You can see there that he was gold free. I was actually platinum free, although here it shows up as diamond 1, and that's because this win took me into the big leagues. As you can see on the left, it says new rank badge, and literally just got in, man. I'm really pleased with that. Although he was gold and I was platinum, you can see on the results here, the top of the banner, it shows you the XP. So he had 239, I had 138. So he had a lot more XP than me, which means he's more experienced. He's been playing the game a lot longer. Anyway, let's go into the replay. You can see that I've got the mouse here, but that's because I'm casting with it. I used Beastie's 2 town center build, so I'll talk a bit about that as we go through the replay, and I want to talk a little bit about what my opponent's doing as well, because I'm not very familiar with Macedonian Dynasty. But the first thing I noticed when I did watch this replay back was, see, I'm starting here with 100 wood, whereas my guy is starting with 200, and what that means is he's able to take his villagers, and rather than go onto the sheep there, he's gone straight onto deer. So he's going to build a mill, and you know the food income is going to be faster from the deer, which means he's going to have an advantage in that respect. So he can build the mill 50, the house 100, mining camp 150, and then he's got 50 left over if he wants to build lumber camp. Whereas for me, let's go back over to home. First 2, house, mining camp, straight onto gold. First 6 were on sheep, and then I start rallying to wood. So we don't need to build the lumber camps. So I could go to the wood line there, but it's an extra travel time, right? So keep it nice, and or just try and keep it as clean as possible in the opening, although I do make mistakes, which you will see. But yeah, it's just you know, the best way to learn is learning on the job. I practiced a lot on skirmish, but now I'm putting it into practice, and I've been doing well. My first, I think, 6 games doing this 2 TC build, I've won 5. So there we go, 6 free. My 4th is going to go on to wood. Let's have a look at the scout. So I did a nice big loop around the base, come around the back, and I'm going to drop off sheep and then go up to the top. I do make a mistake. See this villager, I think I was trying to queue up my scout to go at the top, and I did it to a villager somehow, which was messy to say the least. And then I get him back onto food. I also mess up the drop off here. So yeah, these little errors here didn't end up really costing me big time, but you know, these are the little errors early in the game. Also, my gold, look, it's 200. I should be pulling them off, but because my next village is going to stone, I had so much to do, little APM, so I was a bit delayed on that. But thankfully, at this stage, everything's in order. So to recap, we've got 6 still on the sheep, so I need to get to 400 food for my age up. 2 that were on gold, got enough gold for the age up. They're now on wood, so what you end up with is a 6-6 split. Okay, and this is as per Beastie's build order. And what's going to happen is, so I'm rallying over to stone now. All right, and as soon as I've got enough food, which is 400, start the age up, and then these 6 fields are going to go over to stone. And then I'll get enough food, plop these guys back over to food, and then once these guys get enough stone, we'll start building our second TC. So there's the age up going in. Principality of Antioch. Melee units gain 15% damage. So my army composition is going to be cav and spear, because both of those units are going to get that extra 15% damage. And if I see him making archers, then I'll I'll have to go into archers as well. As I say, I don't know too much about Macedonian Dynasty. I found out after watching this replay that yeah, they have very powerful cav units. So it worked out well, although I did have to make some in-game kind of adjustments on the fly because he starts bringing out archers as well. And I really kind of used my scout well in this game. At this stage, I've covered my half of the map, and then I'm going to drop off, come under the south side, across, look at the front of his base, see what he's up to, and then try to loop around the back, uncover the rest. So let's look at the... I get a bit of a poor spawn here, so a lot of travel time for my villagers to get from the stone over to here. But it is what it is. I'm rallying over to wood from this town centre, and I'm going to do the same with this town centre, because in this league, I'm always facing early aggression. Gold and platinum is always early aggression. And from what I've heard, the Macedonians, they're really good at that. I get it with English, I get it with French, I get it with Ottomans, Mongols, and I'm going to get it with the Macedonians. So the reason I'm rallying to food is because I want to make production buildings. So pop capped almost, well, I'm pop capped, but as you can see, the village has not come through yet, and I don't panic because I know that once this goes up there, you get extra 10 space there. So let's quickly go and check the scout. I'm gonna see what he's going up with, which turns out to be Hippodrome, and I'm like, okay, Hippodrome. It doesn't make any difference to me because I haven't got a clue. I'm expecting to see, barracks, stables, archery range, but as I said, I don't know much, hardly anything, in fact, about this civ. So when I see this here, I don't really know. I'm gonna pause. So I see this and I'm like, okay. But I'm none the wiser. So when I watched the replay, came over and hovered my cursor over here and see that this Imperial Hippodrome acts as a stable. A powerful champion scout, horseman, and Radari are trained for free over time. Champions provide auras that increase damage of torches, enhance damage of cavalry, and inspire infantry to move faster. That's insane. That's crazy. Now I know why people are saying that Macedonian Dynasty are OP. I tried to go around the back, but then I see this wood line, and there's no way I'm going to make it, obviously, because of the town centre being there. So I'm going to go around. So there I set up my waypoints. And something I learned today, guys, which is going to be such a game changer for me moving forward. Could you believe I've been playing all the way up to Diamond? And see what I just did there, where I hovered over it with my mouse. This morning I was like, you know what? There must be a way to do that with the controller. So sure enough, I went and played the AI. And yeah, you can do it. What you do is you hover over it, you click onto it, and you press right trigger. And you get that same information. If I had known that while playing this game, right, I would have known, okay, let's start going into spears. I also saw this archer range, and I also obviously ran past the horseman, and then when I ran this way, I saw this horseman as well. So I kind of rerouted across the top, and boom, dropped down a archery range as well, because I knew that if he's making archers as well, I can't just bring out spears. So I'm gonna have to actually, mix up my army composition as well. And at some point, I do put down the stables and try and double up on my racks as well. So still rallying both TCs to wood. I'm gonna try and get a blacksmith down at some point and get the +1 ranged armor. And I've upgraded the spearmen. I'm putting an outpost because, as I said, I know the aggression's gonna come. And I guess this guy, he knows what he's doing. Look on the map. North, horseman at the sacred site. Central location, horseman with his scout, and he's putting down a Vangarian stronghold, which now I know is also capable of producing Vangarian units. And he's got one down at the bottom. So here, I send my scout to see what's going on, and I see the archers are there. So I get information, pull my spearman back, and straight away, boom, look, 6 archers queued up. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be putting in +1 ranged if I haven't done so already. No, there's no blacksmith down yet. So, yeah, try not to panic. Just stay calm. I understand what's going on. You know, this is not new to me. So my scout comes back out. Let's see the map I've done. I'm uncovering it. There's no point doing this now. Right, I send him back out to see what's going on, and I see the archers. So I'm like, okay, cool. Come back. Gotta wait for these archers to come through, and blacksmith's going down. So this is why I had to rally over to wood, because I needed these production buildings. I'm not good enough to just keep moving my villages around and avoiding, especially with 2 town centers and all of these villages. So that's why I made towers so I can ring the bell. I'm spread out here as well. You know, I've got villages here. You can flank around the back. You know, haven't got walls going on. With Relic River, you're pretty open, man. There's multiple entry points where he can attack, but he's decided to go with siege engineering, and he's building his rams at this stage. I should have sent my scout again, right? But I'm in panic mode. Look, I just put in my first pilgrim, and iron on the mesh is coming in. But if I had gone and looked and saw him doing this, I would have seen this army's not that huge. It's not that big. Right, he's got 5, 6, 7 and 2 rams. I've got, in fact, let's pause it quickly. I've got enough to take him out. Let's look at army value. So I'm slightly above. Okay, and I think my plan was to wait for this to come in. All right, but I'm going to end up making a mistake here. And thankfully, it didn't cost me, but it could have cost me the game, if I'm honest. If I'm honest, looking back at it, I think he went a bit too fast. I think he should have waited a little bit. He's a bit too greedy as well here. Look, so he brings his villagers forward to go on to Deer, and he's going to make his Vangarian stronghold here. So this guy's, you know, very confident in this attack. I think one of the reasons why he's not higher in his leagues is because he's probably just rinse and repeat this kind of strategy. So, I mean, they're going to get you a lot of wins. He takes out my pilgrim there. This is where I made the mistake. So let me pause it. What I'm saying, he's going to get a lot of wins that way. But eventually, as you go to the higher ranks, you know, you're going to come across guys that kind of know what to do. And that's kind of what happened to me as well. I was using the same strategy over and over again, the same opening. And I couldn't really break platinum. So back to the game, he kills my pilgrim there, and I get sight on it, and I see what he's got, and I'm like, you know what, there's nothing there. Let me just go and get an easy kill. But I overreact, and this is a very common mistake, you know, in the gold leagues, and I'm still making it at you know, platinum 3, going into diamond 1. I send the entire army. You know, I should have just sent 2 spears, but I overreact. Look, and it's a common thing for Xbox. L on a D-pad, select all. Right, and look what happens here. He is going to make his move. And ironically, he actually takes away his units because he brings them up because he wants to start his push. Thankfully, I get the alert. Let's go back over here from my scout, and I'm bringing my units back, and it's not too far away. So I do get there in time, but it could have really ended up costing me. And what I do is I get my units to not a move. In fact, it wasn't a move at first, which is why these spearmen went over to the rams. But then I actually catch them, bring them over to fight, and I bring villagers over that were on the wood line over here to come and take out the rams. He tries to come in, and okay, fair enough. He gets down the second TC, which doesn't have as much HP, but he loses his whole army. So look at his army value. We were kind of even, right? We were both at like 2,000. And yeah, he loses his entire army. So I get my villagers back on. It's the lovely thing about KT that you can just throw them on wood. So I actually push forward, loses his whole army. And again, I make a mistake. It's an A move. So some of my guys are just hitting this building. Obviously, archers are not going to do anything against this. And I don't realise that this is actually firing arrows back at me. So I grab these guys and I'm trying to take this out and notice his villagers make their way back. So yeah, a bit of a intense kind of moment there. So I'm kind of gathering myself. I'm getting the upgrades in, siege engineering myself, putting in Sanctuary because I'm like, okay, cool. Now his army's been pushed back. I can start to, impose myself and not be, turning up. That's what I've learned from my previous encounters. Don't, there's a time to be defensive and there's a time to kind of to switch it up, right? And there's gears. Okay, just like in chess, there's your opening, you got your middle game and your end game, and with these kind of real-time strategy games, you need to know, when to change gears. So here I figured out, stop attacking that building, bring my whole army, and start attacking his, and rally forward. So I'm rallying everything here. I think I take a bit of a fight here. I move forward and get some TC fire. So I'm still just taking out his units. Let's look at the army value. So yeah, I'm doing really well. But I'm going to pull these guys back and make my rally point to here. Now, he's producing units from here. And they end up obviously getting murked. Because he's in his base. This one he pulls away. He's trying to do his thing. But here's a problem. As I run past this stronghold, I'm getting peppered. So, yeah, look, these guys are just... I think he just forgets that he's producing units from there. So they all just get murked. But look at my guys. They're getting peppered as they run past. Luckily, I don't lose any units. But, like the horsemen obviously going to tank a little bit. But my archers, they suffer. Queuing up horsemen and archers. So again, I've learnt now. I know what this is. Again, if I knew this in the game and I was able to click on it, press the RT, then I could have figured out what was going on. So this guy almost dies, but then the horseman, thankfully. So yeah, I'm running across, still rallying toward here. I've lost this one, but no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to mark it down because I was, had a bit too much of something. I'm on stone in case I want to, planning to build. There you go, boom. Got rams. Planning to build, I'm building the fortress. He's putting down his golden hall tower. And I'll tell you what, he does really well in terms of getting a siege workshop down straight away as well. And I'm late with that. I've got the villagers here. I should have bought more, really. I got 8. I should have been fortress and siege, maybe even both at the same time. So again, you live and you learn. Like the whole point of reviewing these games is to be able to look at, what mistakes I made, what things I did well, and to learn. And the whole point of casting these videos is to help other Xbox players, other KT players, learn from my errors, maybe some of the things that I've found out that are good strategies and things like that. So yeah, he's aged up. My age up comes through as well. I don't want to get left behind. I'm going to go in with Angevin, which is going to be heavy spearman. So sending the rams, rushing because I don't want him to just take him out. And while that's going on, my fortress is going up. So again, let's have a look at... He garrisons his villagers in there. But those... that arrow fire is not going to do anything against these rams. So I made a mistake by pulling them all back. I should have left the rams and I end up messing around here, as you can see. But my army value is really, really good. I think he's... There you go. So he's going to put down his siege workshop, which is really smart. I should have done the same thing here. I think I'll go onto this ball at some stage because my food income, even though I've got a lot of food, like I'm pumping a lot of horsemen. That's 100 food, 20 wood. Bringing in some sergeants now because they do good damages against buildings. I've sent in a ram over to this place finally. This is up. I'm upgrading spearmen. These guys are repairing, and look, siege. He's actually got a counterweight trebuchet coming in. He's got two queued up, and I'm late. I'm not even putting down a siege, but I'm getting in desert aura, desert citadels, and a spring holding placement, and I'm starting to bring crossbows through as well. So this is almost down, but he's repairing, and you know, had I made a siege, you know, I would have been able to get more rams, and as I said, a trebuchet out. So he starts trebbing me, and yeah, I'm late to get my villagers on the repair job. Back home, I've got 4 on stone, 8 on gold, 15 on wood, 21 on food. Got some men at arms coming through. Upgrades coming through. He's got 2 trebs out, and look, I'm taking damage. Thankfully, I went up with Angevin because you get an extra 30% HP on fortresses and docks, so extra 2,500, and they're already super tanky. What's his? 5,000. Right, so finally I build the siege and I get I think it's 5 villagers. Start repairing, and look at the damage, bro. Heavy spearmen on their way over, which are going to be great under TC fire. I'm pretty sure he's making, or he's going to start making crossbows. But yeah, right at the moment we've got a problem. So I've got my first trebuchet out, and I'm going to kind of run out of stone here. Let's look on the map. I've got 4 guys up here on stone. These guys were on deer. That run out, so now they're jumping on board. So I'm able to do good micro at home. Putting down my houses, I'm sure I would have put down more production units. 1, 2, 3 barracks, archery range, stables. Don't know what's going on over here. Oh, there you go. So I'm trying to take out this. So yeah, I'm doing good. He's still got a few units down here, and my pilgrims are going there because of what was happening up here. So yeah, a lot going on, and I end up bringing more villagers. See these guys here? So because I'm going to lose this fortress, so I bring another 8 over just in time. Look at that, just in time. And then look, because I've only got 4 on stone, I run out. So this is the great thing about KT, right? You always know you've got a surplus of villagers on wood. So look, I grab these guys, and look where they're going, straight onto stone. So I'm able to make all these moves. So he goes down. I think they can rebuild, right? We can't rebuild our. So I ran out of wood. I ran out of stone there. That's why these guys are just standing around like lemons. But look, now I get 9 on stone, and then I'm able to put the repairs in. I need the upgrading as well so that I can get the stone through. So he has to bail on this because it's all over. This defensive stand is not going to work. So now he's going to try and, I don't know, he makes a mistake here. I don't know why these move forward, but they're going to get taken out. So springolds, and I think I focus my trebs on them, and he loses them. So as I said, he had he's going for ranged, but you have to mix it up. I've got heavy spearmen, so he's obviously gone for the crossbowmen, but I'm bringing my own crossbowmen, and I'm sure I've got some cavalry yeah, a few horsemen, not that many to be honest. To be honest, I've just got more units, and I think at this stage, yeah, I kind of decide to go for the push, because when I see that go down, I'm like, okay, let me start being aggressive. I don't know why I stuffed the 12 villagers into the fortress there. That was a bit of a mistake. But more spearmen, more crossbowmen, and there you go. There's the horsemen, 7 horsemen coming through. So he ends up, I think, doing better in this fight. Let's just quickly pause it. Well, wait for this alert to go. Army value. So I'm doubling him up. So 1,000 to 10,000 to 4,000. But he does well because obviously he's got a lot of crossbows against my heavy spearmen. But I end up bringing some springalds and a lot of horsemen 9 in there. And my trebuchets. So I run back. So again, another good decision to not just... a lot of times you're fighting over there, you're rallying over, and you're back in your base, and you're doing upgrades, and it's just falling apart over here, right? So I pull the melee heavy kind of army back, and I let the trebs and the rams do their work, because these guys are not even making a dent, waiting for the 11 horsemen to come through. And yeah, this is pretty much where it kind of ends. Let's have a quick look. Army value, so yeah, 9,200. He's 2,000. He's got nothing really left. I'll quickly pause it because with Xbox you don't get to see, when you finish the game you don't get to see the map. So even if I go back into match replays, you don't get to see the map. So you got to pause it and have a look around. So I was on boar. I was on gold over here, berries. I finished up that stone then, and would have probably moved over to this stone if I needed to. Cleared the guys from here, cleared his stronghold from here, cleared the stronghold that was over here. You know, heavy on the wood line, built my production units, yeah, and all in all, had a good game against a pretty decent opponent. I came out on top. Let's just watch the ending then. So I'm going to bring my units in. He's going to start kiting, but kind of realizes it's game over. He starts going to the back. So he's building this, yeah, and a keep, and he's on the goal. But GG is going to come in right about now because he realizes it's game over. So yeah, good game. Let's have a look at the stats. Villager count. So 2 TC, I was way ahead at this point as well with my villagers. Let's look at military count. So I was ahead of the game all the way through. Yeah, even when I took fights that didn't really work out too well for me. Yeah, I just kept the pressure on and made good decisions, and then look at that. Resources gathered. Pretty similar. Overall, let's have a look at statistics. So I'm on the top. So I won in every category there. Military, killed more, and largest army. Economy, yeah, better on everything. Yeah, better research. Age up time, pretty good. And society, so villager height 88, so 20 more villagers, which is huge. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there, man. It's a really good game. Really pleased to be in Diamond League now. I'm going to keep pumping out these videos. Hopefully they'll be helpful. Take it easy.